Toy Story 5 is finally here, and as a lifelong Toy Story fan, I had to go see it. Honestly, this movie wasn't what I expected, for better and for worse. For some context, I know this is probably an unpopular opinion, but I actually think Toy Story 4 is the best movie in the franchise. So going into Toy Story 5, I was curious to see where Pixar could possibly take the story next. Also, fair warning, there will be some spoilers in this review. So, Toy Story 5 follows Jessie as she leads Bonnie's toys through a world being taken over by technology. Playtime has slowly been replaced by screen time, and Jessie is determined to protect Bonnie through the power of play, friendship, and genuine human connection. And before I get into my criticisms, there's actually a lot I liked about this movie. First off, the animation is incredible. The photorealistic animals especially show just how far Pixar has come in more than 30 years since the original Toy Story. It's honestly really impressive to see. I also thought the central message was handled surprisingly well. The movie explores the impact that technology can have on kids and emphasizes the importance of friendship and real-world experiences. It never felt overly in your face, and I think it's a message that works for audiences of all ages. Another thing I really enjoyed was putting Jessie in the spotlight. She's always been one of the most interesting characters, and the movie does a good job exploring why play means so much to her. We also get a lot more Bullseye, and I loved seeing him get more attention. He proves once again that he's probably the most loyal companion in the entire franchise. But unfortunately, this is where my biggest problems with the movie start. While I think Toy Story 5 is a good movie, it doesn't really feel like a Toy Story movie in the same way the others do. It's missing some of the spirit that made the previous films so special. Even though Woody and Buzz are finally back together, they're basically side characters. They really don't have much impact on the plot, and the same goes for the other classic toys. Rex, Slinky, and Mr. Potato Head are all here, but they spend most of the movie sitting in storage, which just feels strange considering how important they've always been to the series. Instead, the story focuses heavily on Jessie returning to her original owner's house, where she meets a completely new group of toys. Some of these new characters are interesting, but this is also where I started noticing a lot of inconsistencies. One thing that always made the Toy Story universe work was that the toys took being discovered very seriously. In previous movies, getting caught moving was practically unthinkable, but in Toy Story 5, that idea barely seems to matter. There are several moments where toys end up in completely different places, and nobody really questions it. Characters just shrug it off or blame it on forgetfulness. Like Jessie and Bullseye somehow end up with a random family out in the countryside, and nobody really asks how they got there. Now, obviously, we're talking about living toys, so I'm not asking for complete realism, but the earlier movies treated their own rules much more seriously, and I think that helped to make the world more believable. There are also a couple of subplots that honestly felt unnecessary. Buzz, unfortunately, doesn't get much to do in this movie. Most of his role boils down to awkwardly fumbling over his words while trying to ask Jessie to marry him. Then there's this entire group of high-tech Buzz Lightyear toys that escaped from a cargo ship and are trying to find civilization by following Star Command. This movie keeps cutting back to them, but they never really add much to the story. It just felt like screen time that could have been used elsewhere. Then there's the lily pad tablet. The tablet spends a huge portion of the movie playing games for Bonnie so that she can beat her friends and look cool. And maybe I'm missing something here, but do the writers of this movie think tablets literally play games for you? I understand that technology does a lot behind the scenes, but that part just felt bizarre and honestly made the message about technology feel less believable. So where do I land on Toy Story 5? Overall, I think it's worth watching. The animation is stunning, the themes are relevant, and Jessie makes a strong lead character. But for me, it never captured the nostalgic feeling or emotional magic that Toy Story 4 managed to deliver. And considering how successful this movie already seems to be, I'm pretty sure Toy Story 6 is inevitable. The question is, where do they go from here? And more importantly, can they continue expanding this franchise while still respecting what made it so special in the first place? Have you seen Toy Story 5 yet? Let me know what you thought in the comments below, and I'm also curious which Toy Story movie is your favorite. If you enjoyed this review, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.